my lips and my heart, and all my other fun glasses have gone missing, and I have some other ones over there, but I decided to not wear those today. Alright, time for another Rockin' Waitress edition of a story for you today. I was thinking I would talk about this time that at the Hyatt Grand Champions Resort, that there was a gentleman turning 21, and now this is actually a longer story than I actually remember now that I'm thinking about it, because it was kind of really odd. Okay, so once again, big weekend. We're in season. Season is about the time where it starts getting cold and, snowy states. For instance, October. September, October through March, I want to say. March is when they have Coachella, so March is when it starts getting a little hot there. So all those months, we're in season. Every weekend in season, we're slammed. I mean, we were like people waiting outside of the pool area to get in, and the cooks are cooking up. Let me just tell you about the Roadrunner Grill, okay? Roadrunner Grill, which is the food we served at the pool. I mean, in California, if you didn't get a break within 5 hours, you got paid an extra hour, and not only that, but if you couldn't make it down to our cafeteria, which is right next to our laundry where we got our uniforms every day, then you got to get a free meal. So you got paid an extra hour, and you got paid, or you got one of the good meals. You know what I'm saying? Like, not like the cafeteria was great at the time. I think you have to pay now, but at the time you didn't have to pay, and that was really wonderful. Like, that place was so, they got it down. They know what they're doing. Sure, there's some supervisors, here and there that, nobody's perfect, but I mean, the core values are there, and values are really important. Okay, so if you didn't make it down to the free cafeteria, you got to get a free a meal from in-house. Oh man, I can't. I'm too busy to take a break right now. Order me the lobster what was it called? Lobster avocado salad on brioche, please, with the side of whatever. Oh, I'm too busy. Order me the I was vegan, but there was tuna fish, like grilled tuna with pepper jack cheese with jalapeno cheddar bread, and I can't even remember what the sides were because the food was so good. Not only that, but our blended drinks were good too. So I don't think I got into this, but at TGI Fridays, at TGI Fridays, there were service bartenders, and then for the Hyatt Grand Champions Resort Spa Convention Center, they had a service bar too, so I was inside of the there's only 3 computers inside for 1,800 guests. We had we had a lot of servers, but you could only enter orders in 3 computers, on 3 computers. So right there in the kitchen, and they were so good. I don't even know how they did it. There was never any yelling. We made the guacamole with them every morning, just to help out. It was so wonderful, so nice. I had, oh my gosh, the Island Oasis, like the machines where they spit out the shredded ice. It's not even the right word. Crushed ice, fluffy ice, whatever it was. And we had the Island Oasis mixes, unlike at TGI Fridays, where we made our own margarita mix. We made our own Bloody Mary mix. Oh, Dimitri's Bloody Mary mix. So good. I actually still have the, guys, if you work with me at TGI Fridays, you know this, the pictures with the label, the electrical tape around them, the red or the green and the black and whatever. Like, that stuff right there, like, I still have the picture that we made the margaritas in. We used to make our own strawberry puree, stuff like that. So here we just had the mixes, and we would go through probably, at least the ice cream base syrup. We would at least go through, my gosh, I can't even, so many boxes. So each box was full of 3, 6, 9, 12, maybe 12 cartons, and would blow through easily a few of those boxes. We had banana cabanas, summer hummers. Yeah, that's right, I said it. strawberry daiquiris. I mean, blended. I mean, you're in Palm Springs. You don't want. I mean, we would do like mudslides and things like that. Well, yeah, we would. Oh man. And just smoothies. Oh right, smoothies for days. Oh my gosh, smoothies for days. So when I was in the Roadrunner Cafe as a server, I would have if I was a server, we would get sections, because we had 1,800 people down in the 7 pools. We would have sections of 200 chairs. So depending on what the pool was. So, you know, pool 2, you know, section 400 to 600 chairs or whatever like that. We took orders 12, maybe more at a time, and we had the carbon copies. And so we would give the carbon copies to the expo. I mean, there'd be like hundreds of tickets on the expo line. And we would have like 12 food runners. And the food runners would come up to you and say, I've got ticket number, whatever, like, what am I looking for? Flip. I mean, you were flipping through probably like 24 orders to find the one they're talking about. Oh yeah, okay, chair 222, the guy's wearing blue swim shorts with white flowers on him. He's got 10 kids running around him, and they have like red hair. Okay, and so you really had to write these descriptions. You learned fast to write these descriptions on your ticket, because you didn't know when you were going to come back. Oh my gosh, you didn't know. You would go to the bathroom, because there's no private bathrooms. It's a pool. You know, we had 8 pools, 7 in the kid area, 1 in the adult pool area. The adult pool area had several cabanas. I want to say 5 to 10, maybe 8 to 12 cabanas. You know, pool boys, towel people, and the towel people, I think, were also in charge of like busing. Holy smokes. I mean, we even had like a kid slide. We had a toddler pool. And I'm gonna tell you something right now. All the managers had radios, to one, you know, central. They were all on the same channel. And so if the restaurant or the Pianissimo Lounge, the indoor, you know, the lobby bar, Starbucks in the lobby, the gift shop, front desk, I don't know, whatever. Everybody had a radio. Every manager had a radio. And if there was like a code blue, which was a medical emergency, just say like code blue and Roadrunner. I have a code blue story later. Then that was, then all the managers would rush to that area, or security would know to go to that area. Usually when you had a cut, anything like that, you had to call security, and security would actually call out that code. In the pool area, we had what was called the code brown. And a code brown is what happens when you have a kid that dookies in the pool, which is really great on a, like a busy weekend where we would have, you know, full capacity, 2,000, 2,200 people. I think it was 1,800 in the 7 pools, and then 400 in the adult pool area, which would have 2 bartenders, and I would go up there quite frequently to start bartending up there. All right, so let's get this party started. I'm gonna talk. Okay, so let's focus here. So in our property, it's so beautiful. We have a gym that the walls would open up, and you could have the air flowing through the whole gym, and it'd be like you're running on a treadmill outside. We had a spa connected to that with its own private pool, with the water spigots jumping back and forth. We had a koi pond, river feature that went through the whole entire like pool features and this and that, whatever. We would have banquets. Now, mind you, when like Yahoo, Nike, Adidas, Vespa, Culligan, or like just say like groups like water convention or dentist convention or whatever like that, it wouldn't be just like a one event thing. Like Vespa was probably 3 days, Adidas would be whatever, but like Yahoo would be like a week long. Oh my gosh, it was so wonderful, right? And they would have these events out at the pool, which was so cool, like a cigarello people wrapping up the cigars, and like really cool like Arabian Nights theme. Like the pool had like floats in it, like floating light features in it. Oh my god. Or like they would, I mean, it was, the things that banquet department did was so spectacular. It was just so beautiful, so on point, so just, whoever was in charge up there, oh my gosh, like I have to give them props. I bartended up for these events, but it was so nice. So I was in charge of locking up and shutting down everything, opening up and shutting down everything. And I was a server one day, and our presidential villas, everything we were sold out. And our presidential villas were they were $1 million a piece. They're very beautiful. They have their own little like private pool, hot tub situation, a grill, like 3 bedrooms, full kitchen, and there was, I can't remember how many there were. I think there's more now. And they were being bought $1 million at a time. Matter of fact, Dick Monfort gave up his presidential villa to Mr. Sharp, who was our most, we had a lot of incredibly wealthy regulars, and Mr. Sharp was one of my favorites. Waco, Texas, Southern Draw. Oh my gosh! Like, I'll tell you a quick blurb. Like, I had super blonde hair. People asked me if it was a wig because of all the things I could, like. Oh my gosh, my hair was so wonderful. Down to my butt, bleach blonde. You know, I was toned, working out all the time. Like, had a personal trainer. Girl, you wouldn't even know it. Actually, I was not tan. I was a sunophobe. I'm still a sunophobe. So I would never go outside without like 10 layers of sunscreen on. And so they were like, "Are you wearing a wig?" Like, the owner of the property, Dick Monfort, he'd be like, "Cameow, you wearing a wig? I just never know with your hair." I'm like, no, actually, at that time, I only wore wigs out to parties. And only massive parties at that. Ooh, massives. EDC veteran. Nocturnal Wonderland veteran. Monster Massive. But anyways, that's the point. And Mr. Sharp said to me, "Darling, why don't you run away with me to Waco, Texas? You can have any body modifications you want, have your own apartment above the garage, any car you want, just say you'll be with me." Oh, Mr. Sharp, and, you know, bless his soul, you know, older gentleman, dentures, you know, you can imagine. I loved that man. And I'm like, "Mr. Sharp, I am happily married." I just said that because obviously that would be crossing the line. And if it wasn't the case, and he said, "Darling, you're the only one who's ever said no to me." I just enjoyed him so much. Okay, so Mr. Sharp, our, you know, favorite person, bought Dick Monfort's presidential villa because he had failed to get one before they all sold out or whatever. And then those villas were timeshared out to guests wanting to stay on the property. For instance, like Rafael Nadal, Maria Sharapova, Beckham's, you know, all those people. I mean, some people, I can't even like name all the people. It was so many famous people I met. It was so wonderful, such a good experience. And if you didn't reserve your own timeshare for the time you were staying up in the freaking, you know, you were staying in the hotel. So that unfortunately happened, especially for stir of the moment business trips, things like that. It's not uncommon for, oh my gosh, is someone in the ditch just driving around? It's not uncommon, yes, oh my gosh, they went off the road. Be careful, little truck. Okay, wow. It was not uncommon for, rich kids' parents to rent them out, you know, rooms for a weekend, for a birthday or a celebration, things like that. This one kid, 21st birthday, presidential villa, like 3-day weekend, staying there. When they were out the pool the first time, and I was up at the adult pool, bartending, we were talking to them. They told me like told me that they're waiting to get a new villa because their place had flooded. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so weird. They're like, yeah, it flooded. I'm like, oh my gosh, I really apologize for that. You know, these villas are pretty new. I'm sure they'll take the best care of you possible. I'll make sure that you get taken care of while you're here with me. Great. Later, from the engineers, we're talking about it. You know, I'm closing up. I'm by myself. You know, all the servers leave. I lock up. I was in charge of the requisition. I was in charge of, you know, everything. Locking up the adult pool bar. I can't remember what I called that. It was called the Oasis Lounge. And then the Roadrunner Cafe and all that stuff, and then locked the pool up after I left. And so, you know, I'm closing up shop, and the engineer's like, oh my gosh, like, it happened again. And I will go into another story. No. I will go into another story about the hauntings of the Hyatt property, but briefly I will touch on this one. Okay. He's like, it happened again. I saw her. Oh my gosh, what happened? You better tell me. You got a call from Villa 503 and needing a light replaced. I was like, okay, yeah, sure. Okay, so I go in there. Lady lets me. She got a robe on. You know the robes. You know the white robes. I'm like, yeah. And the towel wrapped around her head. Oh yeah, cool. She comes in and says the light bulb's in there. I talk to her, quick little chit chat, nothing really significant. I don't see her when I walk out, and I just shut the door and be on my way. And I'm like, Villa 503? And they're like, yeah, 503. I'm like, and he's like, just wait. And I'm like, okay, so, oh my gosh, how do I say this? So, the kids, after breakfast, or after hanging out at the pool, they went back to go do something, and 503 was their villa, and it had flooded. And they called in and like, oh, we just changed the light bulb in there. Did something happen? And they're like, we didn't call about a light bulb. Well, this lady was like, we don't have a lady with us. But this is all like 21-year-olds. And so they had brought up that confusion, and I didn't know what to say at the time. So I was like, oh, I don't know. They don't tell me, those things. I'm sorry about that. And so like, it was the ghost. And this lady is, oh gosh, this is such a tragic story, but this lady, she's in white usually, and she's like an Christian, and yeah, she was in the villa, and they changed the light bulb, and after they left, at some point before the party came back, the place had flooded. Now, the next day, they all get situated, whatever, whatnot, or maybe it was the day after they this happened, the day before, the day after, I'm not really sure, but I'm serving down at the pool, and I loved serving out there. It was really fun. You got a lot of steps in. We had these like shorts and like tank tops with like sleeveless polos on, and we had like, you had to wear a visor. You had to. I mean, you have to. It's part of the uniform one, but you have to too. You can wear sunglasses, preferably, and there's just, we would try so many different neck wraps or things like that to keep us cool, but I mean, let's be real, it's hot, and we have to drink. I mean, we would get worried about sun poisoning, all those kinds of dehydration and things like that, and we would have to drink 32 ounces of water like every hour, because it was just so, it's just so high potential for getting sick and being out. And so this guy, for some reason, he's down at the family area with the 7 pools, and I wasn't bartending for the service bar, so I was out serving, and he'd walk by me, and he would be like, oh, like he would shake me. So this must have been the next day, because we had a kind of a rapport going on, me and his group, and like, oh my gosh, and he would shake me a little bit when I walked by, and I'm like, whatever. It keeps, when you have this rapport with your guests, and you have this, you have time to smile and be kind and interact with them, it makes them feel important, like wanted, appreciated, and they want to spend more time with you. They come back to see you. They can stay anywhere else, but they come back. Let's be real, like, amenities are nice, things are nice too, but if they're not getting treated right, if they're just getting treated like a number, if they're just getting treated like every other person that walks through the door, and not all, like, I don't know, they just want to feel like they're unique and they're important, and we were having that moment, and he was young, and he was 21, and I think I was 23 at the time, maybe, I don't know. He must have done like 7 times, and this kid's getting, increasingly drunk. I'm not serving him alcohol. He's not in my section. And one time, I was just in a good mood. I'm always in a good mood, most of the time. And I walked by him, and I did it to him. Oh, and I, like, you just like kind of nudge him a little bit. And he's like, oh, you feeling like, basically, like, you feeling froggy? And I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And I have my tray in my hand, and I have everything, like, and I have my pedometer on, and this is like basically like 2007, before cell phones were, waterproof. I didn't have it on me, thank freaking goodness. He throws me in the pool. He throws me in pool 1. He throws me in the freaking pool. He throws me in the pool. Oh my gosh. I laugh it off. I'm like, oh my gosh. Apparently this has never happened before, where a guest throws a server in the pool, I walk like a drenched cat, slopping and slishing my feet through all the way through the pool, all the way through the area, all the way down the stairs to the basement, trudge up to the uniform to get a new uniform in my section, and security like intersects me and like, oh my gosh, for that malicious intent, like we will kick him out right now, like how dare they do that to you? Because I mean they were very on it, like you had to be like, I mean in that place of that caliber, you had to make sure everything was on point. So I mean this is malicious, like we are kicking him out right now. I was like, no, it's all in good fun. Like I didn't feel like it was mean, we were, whatever, and I had to really advocate for him not to get kicked out. And I changed, and it was fun. My shoes were soaking wet. That didn't change. I took off my socks, and from that moment on, because we had to wear white socks to the pool and black socks in the Pianissimo Lounge, and you better believe they did uniform checks every day. Holy shit, uniform checks every day, or we got sent home. No doubt about it. That's not uncommon, in professional, serving. You didn't have the right uniform, you're done. And go home and change. If you're allowed to even come back at all. You're out of uniform, you're done. And so I started keeping white socks in there and stuff like that after that. But yeah. Let me just wrap up this story really quick because I know it's getting long. But going back to Code Brown, when I was the server bartender and I was serving making drinks for 1,800 people, the kitchen would have bazillion tickets, and I would have just bazillion tickets too. I had 2 Island Oasis blenders, and I had 8, maybe 9 blender cups, and the sink was not close to me. It was on the other side of my bar, because you always had a bar, when you were a service bartender, because that's how the servers got their drinks. And and it got to the point where we were getting so busy that I couldn't even go rinse my blender cups, and I would just kind of start keeping track of them, like which ones were which, but then it would be hard, so then you just have to wash them because there was alcoholic drinks and then there was non-alcoholic drinks, right? So you got a ticket come in, it's like freaking chair 662, and it's got 4 different drinks on there, and they're all different smoothies. Timmy, you want a smoothie? Yeah, Mom, I want a smoothie. All right, get him a smoothie. They called milkshake smoothies too, so we had, the strawberry, all mango and all those flavors too, but they decided to make this ice cream based one, right? We used it for mudslides, we used it for Oreo smoothies, Oreo shakes to me. Let me illuminate the situation. I calculated at one time to see how much saturated fat was in that liquid ice cream base with Oreos incorporated into it for one, I want to say 12-ounce cup. And I had a pour beers too, I forgot about that. It was like 200% saturated fat. And runs central. Let me just tell you that right now. I got a ticket with not just 4 smoothies of the same flavor. I'd have 4 smoothies of different flavors. And that would be annoying too, because I would just have tickets falling for 6 hours or more, just falling on the ground, having like 4 different types of drinks on one ticket, 4 different blenders, if you know what I'm saying. Unless I could figure out how to do non-alcoholic, then add alcoholic to it after that to make a separate drink, whatever. You had to be strategic, right? Just put on my radio, just really loud, my own music, and I would just like jam out. You just had to, right? So, my gosh. So Code Brown gets called on pool 1. What the hell? Okay, whatever. I keep serving all these tickets out. And it's busy. We can't afford to have pools go down. Not even one pool. So we have 8 pools and one's going down already. Great. The adjacent pool 2 goes down. Code Brown pool 2. So we have to shock it for 24 hours. So, I mean, we use saltwater pools. If you're not using saltwater, you need to reevaluate your life and everything about it, because I don't know why you're not using it, first of all. Second of all, you're saving thousands upon thousands of dollars by doing it. And third of all, it's better for you. And fourthly, it's just, oh my gosh, what's happening? It's just makes sense. I don't know why anybody would not do it. Anyways, so despite the fact that we use saltwater pools, we had to shock it, of course. It's Code Brown. And so pool 2 went down. come to find out that little Timmy, who already had an Oreo shake, mom got, Timmy, you want another Oreo shake? Yeah, mom. Gets another Oreo shake and dookies all into the other pool too. So pool 1, pool 2 are down. Never had more than 2 pools at once go down, but this was the first and it was horrible. So we have, I want to say, like 700 guests that are now pissed off because the pool that they're around is down. 2 pools. So once we found out it was the same kid not wearing, or I don't even know, they weren't wearing the right stuff. They charged that family buku bucks on their bill, their hotel bill, because we were out that much money. You know what I mean? That put us out X amount of dollars. And it was not cheap. It was not cheap. So just because you're on a vacation doesn't mean that you get to be like, we get to be your babysitter. You get to be relieved of your, you know, your parental duties, you know? So yeah, 2 code browns in one day. It was awesome. I don't know. Those are my stories. Hyatt Grand Champions, best place I ever worked. Loved that place. It's a little adjustment to get used to, going from TGI Fridays to like, yes sir, no, never no sir, you know, yes ma'am, you know. Your hotel manager, the person that oversees the whole property, just walking by at any moment because his presidential villa was there. Him and his wife and the twins lived there, and he had to stay on property 24/7. And you know, Chef Alon says you need to, yes chef, like, oh man, executive chef status. That's awesome. Oh man, that place was amazing. So I don't know what I'm gonna say to you the next time I talk to you, but it should be just as long and drawn out as this. Just kidding.